All right. So welcome to the Sunday evening chats. I'm not sure what day/time these challenger chats are going to be, but I wanted to start doing them just so that I can talk to you, so you guys can get questions answered. And I'm going to kind of do this in the form of what I was doing earlier, which is sharing information with you guys. So probably super short and sweet unless you guys have some questions that we can definitely go more in depth to. I'm going to work on recording them so that people who couldn't hop on live can listen so that they get, the information every single week. So this week I really wanted to dive into the container system because Tawni, who is in a fair amount of these challenges, she has lost over 30 pounds just utilizing the eating plan, along with she's been walking 30 minutes every single day. She just started Shift Shop, super proud of her. But I think that's just a huge testament to how effective this eating plan is when you eat according to it. Now, that said, I know that it can also be the biggest challenge for most of us whenever we go into a workout program, eating plan. It's one thing to take 20 minutes to 30 minutes out of your day to do a workout. It's another thing to have to adjust how you grocery shop and how your family eats. And, what do I get that maybe my husband or my kids or, my roommate doesn't like to eat that way. So it definitely takes a lot more effort to adjust your eating. But it's something that's going to be super, super effective in making sure that this is a lifestyle and not just a quick fix for you. So I wanted to tell you that most of the eating plan is based off of this program right here, the 21-Day Fix. If you haven't heard of it before, it's literally 30-minute workouts with the eating plan, with the portion control containers that you all have. And the system has been pretty revolutionary. It came out in 2014. I've been eating this way since probably 3 months after it came out. I was very, very skeptical when it first came out. I thought there's no way that these little containers are going to be that drastic in, first off, people's results. Second off, it looked really confusing to me. And I just didn't buy into it. And so it wasn't until I had run probably about 3 challenges with people testing out the 21-Day Fix that I had so many customers coming to me and telling me this eating plan is so easy. I can't believe how easy it is. It is just making life so much more simple. And I'm, getting results. I'm losing weight. I'm getting more toned, those kinds of things. And I was like, all right, I'll try it out. So I tried it out and I got my personal best results, was able to tone more than I'd ever toned before. I didn't lose any weight because that wasn't what I was trying to do, but I did get significant muscle increase and tone definition that I was really looking for. So I definitely was able to utilize it and have been pretty much utilizing it ever since. So I wanted to just go into foundations of this plan. It's basically a macronutrient plan, focusing in on big food groups every single day. Not necessarily those micronutrients, which Shakeology fills in for you, but the big food groups, your proteins, your healthy fats, carbohydrates, which for me, that was the biggest thing that I noticed whenever I first started eating this way, was that I was eating, even though I had lifestyle, I think I'd been working out regularly and eating well for probably 5 or 6 years at that point. And I thought, what do I need to make? I love where I'm at. Things are going really well. Why would I need to make any adjustments? And I noticed a huge difference in my energy, how I felt, and again, with the tone that I had as well. So I would definitely suggest, if you haven't dive into it, test it out for at least a week. Because during that first week for me, I specifically remember going into this plan and being overwhelmed at first, because it is overwhelming. It's a lot of information. It's kind of tricky to figure out at first. I like to think of it like a puzzle. And at first I realized that I was eating about 70% carbs in my diet. And I couldn't really believe it, because I was just used to, eating cereal with milk every day. Both of those are yellow containers. And my servings of cereal were ginormous. They were absolutely huge. So,
stop spitting.
I learned quickly that I was going over the amount of carbs in a day, probably by 11 servings of carbs just off of my breakfast. And that's not an exaggeration. That's just how it was for me. So I was like, crap, I've got to figure out how in the world, what am I going to eat for breakfast? I don't like breakfast food. I didn't like eggs. I still don't really like eggs, but I will eat eggs. I definitely didn't like sausage or bacon, or like pancakes were another carb. Don't like yogurt. Like, I'm a super picky eater. So I was really stressing out. What in the world am I going to eat for breakfast? And so I figured, let me try turkey bacon and eggs. It's on the eating plan. Turkey bacon's on there. Eggs are on there. Let me see if I can get those down and like get some protein in. Cause that was the other thing that I realized, is that I was only having, say, like 2 servings of protein a day, and I needed to be having like 4 or 5 servings of protein a day. So it was just very enlightening to look at this and know what I needed to be eating to fuel my body. So that said, I know how overwhelming it can be during those first couple weeks when you're saying, well, this isn't how I normally eat. I get it. So start with one meal at a time. So for me, like I said, it was breakfast. I was like, what can I change for breakfast to figure out how to get in these containers? So I started changing. Initially did turkey bacon and eggs. Eventually I changed to the 21-day fix extreme eating plan, which takes turkey bacon off of the table. And so I started doing eggs with vegetables and kind of put it into an omelet. Sometimes I would put some salsa on it so that I could get it down, because I don't really like eggs, like I said. And then, so that kind of became a staple for me for breakfast. So find things that can be staples in your day. For me, it's 1 cup of mixed vegetables that I saute on the pan. I put in 2 eggs every single day. I know a lot of people do. I know Tawni does egg cups. Like at the beginning of the week, she'll make a ton of different egg cups. I think you put them in the oven. I think they're all over Pinterest. So I'm sure that and I think that they're on our Fixate app too, on Beachbody On Demand. So you can check that out too. But find a staple for breakfast. I would highly suggest doing that. For some of you, I know it's Shakeology, and Shakeology can be super, super helpful in just making sure that you get a solid, healthy, dense, nutritious breakfast. So for me, unless I'm working super early in the morning, I like having my Shakeology later in the day. That's just how I am. So for me, my staples are my breakfast omelet in the morning, and I usually have a piece of fruit. And then at lunchtime, I have my Shakeology. And my Shakeology, yes, it's great all on its own. I like to add a ton of stuff in so that I can get in more containers, because a lot of times, I know for most of us in the challenges, getting in a lot of greens, which you need to get in this plan, is really hard. So one of the ways that I like to do that is to add spinach to my shake. And I would say freezing the spinach is a little bit easier to make sure that you don't taste it at all and you don't have any texture at all. So I usually do like 2 cups of spinach. I'll freeze them all in little baggies in my freezer. Excuse me. And then I will just throw it into my shake, and you don't taste it at all. And it's a super easy way to get in 2 servings of those green containers. So that's something else that I'll do. So by lunchtime, I'll have already had 3 of my greens, and that saves me some for dinner. So I'll add in that. I have my Shakeology, which is a red. I also add Greek yogurt, plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I hate yogurt, absolutely hate it. I think it's the worst thing in the world. I think it's disgusting, but I can add it to my shake, and it makes it creamier, and it doesn't change the taste too much. It does change the taste, definitely does. You can taste it a little bit, but it doesn't change it drastically. So if you can handle it and you need a way to get in protein, I would highly suggest getting that in. So by that time of day, I've already gotten in 3 of my red containers, and I usually need 4 for my eating plan. So it makes it easy. Come dinner, I can just have 1 serving of like a meat or something like that, and I get in my red containers, because your protein is super, super important, especially for those of you who are doing like hardcore workout programs. Getting in that extra protein is so vitally important. So we've got 2 reds, 2 greens. I usually do my almond milk, which I don't count. Everybody's different. They initially, they've changed the eating plan. We have multiple nutritionists, I want you to know, that work on this eating plan. It was not just Autumn Calabrese who came up with this. She came up with the concept, yes, but Beachbody pays a lot of nutritionists to make sure that they're putting these things together in the appropriate way and making sure that they have them categorized the right way. So for what I know and have learned about, almond milk, it's essentially like it's like watered down. I mean, there's a lot of water in it. So I don't usually count it as the yellow. I don't really count it as anything in my day because it's a cup of almond milk. It's not a big deal. I use it as a freebie. and I pretty much always have. So I've got almond milk. I also use 2 teaspoons of all natural peanut butter. My peanut butter that I highly suggest everybody get, it's called Crazy Richards in some parts of the country. In other parts of the country, it's just called Crema. The only ingredient is peanuts. That's it. There's no other ingredient. And you literally, it's delicious. You stir it up. It's very creamy and kind of thin. It's not like a super thick peanut butter, but you have to stir it. Their quote is worth the stir, and it's totally worth the stir. So I use Crema peanut butter. I also use a frozen banana. So I've got another serving of fruits in there. So usually every single day when I have the same thing for breakfast and the same thing for lunch, it's really easy to piece together the rest of my day and the rest of my dinner. Usually I need a couple servings of vegetables, a serving of fruit, and I usually save all my carbs for dinner because I love carbs. I love carbs. I think they're the greatest thing ever. And so I like to save all of mine for dinner. And I know that that sounds crazy, but that's just what I do. So like if I want a pasta at dinner, I'm going to be able to have a pasta at dinner and like a decent size of pasta at dinner because I've saved all 3 of my carbs for dinner time. Or, you know, if I want a snack of peas, I really like peas, which I know is a really weird thing to like, but I really like peas. So if I want a snack of just peas, I can do that and still have 2 servings of carbs left for the day. So I'd highly suggest making sure that you have staples in your day. Shakeology makes it a really easy one. And depending on what additions that you add, I know a lot of people like to change up recipes, which I think is awesome because you won't get sick of a flavor. I've been drinking Shakeology the same way for about 6 years. I still am not sick of it. The only time I couldn't really drink it was when I was in my first trimester and I just couldn't drink it. But other than that, I haven't had any issues in getting it down. And so that's really important. So that kind of leads me in. Does anybody have any questions first off on the eating plan, the basis of it, anything like that? I think everybody's unmuted. Okay. If you don't have any questions, I'm going to go in. Can you guys see me okay? Like you can chat like in the chat box if you can see me. But I want to go into a quick way really quickly for you guys to make sure that you are like an easy way to puzzle piece these things together. Because I know for me, when I first started the first week, I'll talk about the first week a lot because I vividly remember the first week being really hard. And then I remember it getting a lot easier after that. So I use this app. I don't know, can you guys see? Yeah, I can see my apps. So this is the 21 Day Fix Tracker app. This is another container app, which I don't really like that much. There we go. So it's this 21 Day Fix Tracker app. Beachbody bought it. Actually, they didn't initially create it. They bought it. So you can go to your containers here, and this is like your lists. So that, sorry, I'm trying to like get it to focus. It's not like, so when you click on these individual things, you can see the list of the containers.
Hey, honey, come here.
And pretty much every single workout program. And that's why I'm doing this based on the 21 Day Fix. Every single workout program that we have released since the 21 Day Fix, so for the last 3 years, is based on this eating plan. Shift Shop that just came out, it has its own eating plan, yes, but it's still based on the container system. So you can still utilize this app, which is really important. So this is the app. These are the containers. Right there, like see, I looked at carbs and it like lists your carbs and things listed at the top.
Cade, come here.
Things listed at the top have more nutrients than things listed at the bottom. Same thing in your eating plan booklets or when you pull up the program materials, when you pull up the eating plan, the foods listed at the top have the most nutrient dense. And then as you go to the bottom, they become less nutrient dense. Still healthy, just less nutrient dense. So we will then go to, you can either click the 21 Day Tracker here, or you can click maintenance. They're both essentially the same thing. So I'll go to maintenance here. And as you can see, I haven't updated this in a little bit, but what we learned this week, Tawni learned this, is you can click this little pencil guy, the little pencil next to remaining portions there. You can click that to adjust your containers. So sorry, this is like not focusing like I want it to. So you can adjust your containers however you need them to adjust. Maybe if I get out of it, there we go. So everybody is different. This is just based on the maintenance plan for the 21 Day Fix. But like I said, Shift Shop has a very different eating plan. Every single week changes. I know that a lot of the different programs have different portions that you need to do. The 21 Day Fix plan that I'm showing you right here is based on my own my own formula, the same formula that comes with this. So whenever you put in your weight and your activity level and stuff like that, it automatically comes up with what your portions need to be. So with this, every program that we put out, it doesn't matter which one you're doing, you can adjust the container so that you can make sure that you're following the system completely. You'll always come back to the 21-day fix because this is the lifestyle plan. Shift Shop, like I just keep going back to that one because that one just came out. So I know I've been like learning a lot about it, but that one is not a lifestyle plan. It's literally a 3-week plan. It really works on getting rid of carbs so you can up your protein so you can get super shredded in a very short amount of time. But that's not the way you eat all the time. This is the way you eat all the time, is via the 21-day fix. That's what the 21-day fix was made for, so that you can follow a plan that you can live with. And so I really like this app because, like you can see, in this plan here, you can see when I fill out my breakfast, I fill out my lunch, these are the portions that I have for the rest of the day. Like I said, I usually save my carbs for the end of the day. I really like to only have one protein at the end of the day. I like vegetables, so it's not really an issue to get in a couple cups of vegetables at the end of the day. And then I usually have a snack of fruit at nighttime. So it's really an easier way to make sure that you're getting in the containers that you need. And like I said, it's easier still when you have staples in your day, when you're having the same thing for breakfast or the same thing for lunch or the same thing for both of those, so that you can adjust your dinners. So that is just pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys today. I know that it can be overwhelming in the beginning. I know that, making dedicated time to learn this plan, it does take time. But usually, like I said, after a week to 2 weeks, it gets a lot easier. It really, truly does. And it can really become a lifestyle. And when you eat according to this lifestyle and you utilize this app every single day, you can get amazing results because you're fueling your body with what it needs. I would challenge you to do this for at least a week, solid, following the plan to a T, for at least a week, to notice how your energy changes. Notice how your body feels, because your body truly does function better when it gets the nutrients that it needs from your main food groups. That's why this was created. So those are the main things that I really wanted to talk to you guys about today. Does anybody have any questions about the app or the eating plan in general? No? All right. So I'll be sending out an email with a couple more podcasts to listen to this week. That's something that I really want you guys to start doing. They're always free. That's why I like using the podcast system. And they're easy to listen to, like on your drive or if you're making dinner, if you're getting ready in the morning. So look out for another email from me this week. I am recording. I was like, oh gosh, did I just forget to record? No, I recorded the whole thing. Good. But look out for that, and we will just keep crushing it. And so as long as you guys don't have any questions, I will let you guys go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Thank you so much for hopping on, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.